Imagine walking into a dark room, only to discover that your surroundings are filled with objects you didn't even know were there. Some things are familiar, while others seem completely foreign to you. This is what Carl Jung suggests happens when we tap into the unconscious. The unconscious mind, according to Jung, is not a murky, forgotten wasteland, as many had thought before him. Rather, it is a rich, vibrant landscape of hidden energies, archetypes, and life experiences that have shaped us in ways we may never fully understand. But how did Jung's view of the unconscious differ from his predecessor, Sigmund Freud, and why does it matter in shaping human behavior and personality? In this essay, we will explore the intricate layers of Jung's theory of the unconscious, contrast it with Freud's perspectives, and analyze its profound role in the development of human personality. Before we dive deep into the psyche, I'd like to take a moment to welcome you to the Unfolding Journey YouTube channel, where we unravel the mysteries of the human mind and explore the fascinating realms of psychology, philosophy, and self-development. If you're passionate about understanding what makes us tick and want to journey into the depths of your own unconscious mind, then you're in the right place. In today's episode, we'll explore Carl Jung's groundbreaking ideas about the unconscious and its impact on personality development. So sit back, relax, and prepare for a deep dive into the unconscious mind. When it comes to the unconscious mind, the first name that often comes to mind is Sigmund Freud. Freud's groundbreaking work on the unconscious laid the foundation for much of modern psychology. However, his concept of the unconscious was significantly different from that of Carl Jung, who was once Freud's protege. Although both Freud and Jung agreed that much of our behavior is driven by unconscious forces, their interpretations diverged in key ways that reshaped the landscape of psychological theory. For Freud, the unconscious was a repository of repressed desires, traumatic experiences, and unresolved conflicts, largely from early childhood. He viewed the unconscious as a kind of mental garbage dump, a dark, hidden realm where repressed thoughts, often related to sexuality and aggression, resided. These repressed feelings were often seen as being in conflict with the demands of the conscious mind and social norms. According to Freud, the unconscious served a critical role in shaping behaviors that were maladaptive or driven by unacknowledged impulses, and psychoanalysis became a tool for bringing these unconscious elements to light. Jung, on the other hand, radically expanded the idea of the unconscious. While he acknowledged the presence of repressed elements, he rejected Freud's narrow focus on sexuality as the driving force of the unconscious. Instead, Jung posited the existence of a collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of memories and archetypes inherited from our ancestors. For Jung, the unconscious was not just a place of repressed trauma. It was a deeper, more universal layer of the psyche that connected all humans across time and space. The collective unconscious, Jung argued, contained universal symbols and patterns, known as archetypes, that shape our thoughts, behaviors, and experiences. These archetypes, such as the hero, the shadow, and the anima/animus, form the foundation for the individual's journey of self-realization and individuation. The role of the unconscious in shaping human behavior. One of the most profound aspects of Jung's theory is the active role that the unconscious plays in shaping human behavior. Jung saw the unconscious not as a passive, hidden force, but as an active, dynamic part of the psyche, constantly influencing our thoughts, actions, and emotions. According to Jung, the unconscious seeks to bring balance to the conscious mind by revealing aspects of the self that have been neglected or repressed. This process is known as individuation. Individuation is a journey of psychological integration, where the individual becomes more whole by acknowledging and integrating unconscious aspects of the self. These aspects might include hidden desires, unacknowledged emotions, or personal traits that have been ignored due to social or cultural pressures. Jung believed that by confronting the unconscious and embracing these hidden parts of ourselves, we could achieve greater self-awareness, emotional balance, and psychological wholeness. For example, Jung suggested that the unconscious would often communicate with the conscious mind through dreams, which are symbolic representations of unconscious content. Dreams could provide important insights into unresolved issues, internal conflicts, or desires that the conscious mind might be avoiding. Jung also introduced the concept of active imagination, a technique where individuals deliberately engage with the unconscious by allowing images, symbols, and fantasies to emerge in a semi-conscious state, offering a pathway to personal growth and transformation. The unconscious and personality. The interaction of the persona, shadow, anima/animus, and self. Central to Jung's view of the unconscious and personality is the interaction of various archetypes and psychological constructs that shape our individual lives. In his theory, the persona is the mask or identity that we present to the world. It is the socially constructed self, which we use to navigate and conform to societal expectations. While the persona is necessary for functioning in society, it can often be a source of conflict if it is too rigid or disconnected from the authentic self. This tension is where the shadow comes into play. The shadow represents the unconscious part of the psyche that holds our repressed, hidden, and unacknowledged aspects. It contains everything that we deny or reject about ourselves, often because it is socially unacceptable or perceived as negative. However, Jung believed that the shadow also contains valuable qualities that, when integrated, can lead to greater psychological growth and authenticity. The process of integrating the shadow involves accepting those darker, hidden parts of ourselves, those traits or impulses that we might consider undesirable, and recognizing their value for personal growth. The anima in men and animus in women are other key elements of the unconscious in Jungian theory. These are the unconscious feminine and masculine aspects of the psyche, respectively. The anima represents the feminine qualities within a man, and the animus represents the masculine qualities within a woman. By acknowledging and integrating the anima or animus, an individual can achieve a more balanced and complete sense of self. Jung believed that these archetypes were particularly significant in the process of individuation, as they helped individuals to bridge the gap between their conscious identity and their deeper unconscious nature. Finally, the self represents the ultimate goal of individuation, a fully integrated, balanced psyche where the conscious and unconscious parts of the self are united. The self is not a fixed entity, but a dynamic process of becoming whole. It is only by integrating all aspects of the psyche, including the shadow, the persona, the anima/animus, and the unconscious, that a person can achieve true psychological wholeness. Jung versus Freud. Key differences in their views on the unconscious. While both Freud and Jung saw the unconscious as central to human behavior and personality, their theories diverged in several important ways. Content of the unconscious. Freud believed that the unconscious was primarily a storehouse for repressed memories, especially those related to sexual and aggressive drives. Jung, on the other hand, viewed the unconscious as a more expansive realm containing not just personal memories, but also universal archetypes and symbols that are shared across cultures and generations. Nature of the unconscious. Freud saw the unconscious as largely negative and repressive, a force that suppressed undesirable thoughts and impulses. Jung, in contrast, believed that the unconscious had a creative and transformative function. It was a source of personal growth, offering wisdom and guidance for those willing to engage with it. Role of the unconscious in personality development. Freud's theory was centered around the idea of resolving repressed conflicts, primarily from early childhood. Jung, however, emphasized the role of the unconscious in the ongoing process of individuation, where the unconscious continually interacts with the conscious mind to promote personal growth and self-realization. Carl Jung's understanding of the unconscious was revolutionary, expanding the concept far beyond Freud's initial theories. For Jung, the unconscious was not just a hidden storehouse of repressed memories, but a dynamic, creative force that had the potential to guide individuals towards psychological wholeness. The unconscious is a realm filled with archetypes, symbols, and energies that, when integrated into consciousness, contribute to personal growth, balance, and individuation. By comparing Jung's and Freud's ideas, we can see how the unconscious plays a pivotal role in shaping not only our behavior and personality, but also our understanding of ourselves. Jung's theory invites us to view the unconscious not as a dark abyss to fear, but as a vast, fertile ground from which we can draw strength, wisdom, and deeper self-knowledge. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of Carl Jung's psychology. If you found this exploration of the unconscious mind interesting, be sure to subscribe to the Unfolding Journey channel for more insightful content on psychology, personal growth, and self-discovery. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring the depths of your mind.